The chapter opens in a dimly lit room where the air is thick with treachery. Two high-ranking members of the archive are whispering in the dark. One of the traitors expresses a chilling confusion, wondering why the first young master suddenly refused to consume the blood mushroom venom. His partner sneers, suggesting that perhaps the boy wanted to drag more people down to the afterworld with him than just the patriarch. While they were frustrated that their initial assassination attempt failed, they now realize it might be a blessing in disguise. If the first young master commits suicide now, under the current tension, the Heavenly Grand Archive will crumble into absolute chaos. However, a seed of doubt remains. They've heard rumors from the second young master that the useless heir has started learning martial arts. Stepping out from the shadows, the captain of the guards lets out a dismissive laugh. He tells his co-conspirators they are being far too cautious. Even if the boy has learned a few moves, the captain is certain he is no threat to them. Since these two are trusted figures within the archive, no one will suspect them as the plan moves forward. The captain reminds them of the ultimate goal. The first young master must die by suicide. Killing him openly would be messy and complicated, but if he resists, the captain's eyes turn cold as he suggests simply cutting the boy's throat and framing it as a self-inflicted end afterward. Elsewhere, Beom Hang, the first young master, looks at the blade held by the captain with a weary sigh. He isn't afraid. He's disappointed. He wonders just how deep this rot goes and when the betrayal truly began. With a calm, almost mocking smile, Beom Hang tells the captain that while everyone thinks he still wants to die, he's actually changed his mind. He declares that he is no longer the weak man he used to be. The captain doesn't waste time with words. Moving with professional speed, he strikes Beom Hang in two vital locations, the Great Palace Point and the Cycle Gate Point. These are precision strikes meant to paralyze the entire body instantly. The captain begins to gloat, looking down at the helpless boy. He calls him unlucky, mocking him for finally wanting to live just as death has come to claim him. He paints a gruesome picture of the future. The patriarch will die, the young master's uncle will fall, and his brothers will be driven to madness and alcoholism until the archive is nothing but a memory. But then Beom Hang speaks. His voice is steady, and his eyes are piercing. "You sure talk a lot," he says, before demanding to know who else is involved in the plot. The captain's jaw drops in pure shock. Beom Hang is moving. Despite having his paralysis point struck, the young master stands perfectly fine, possessing a peculiar technique the captain can't comprehend. As the captain lunges in a rage, Beom Hang effortlessly parries him, coolly warning him not to break the expensive furniture in the room. The captain tries to use his most intimidating stances, dragon styles, tiger styles, but Beom Hang just laughs them off, asking if the man is trying to imitate a cat. With total dominance, Beom Hang sets a timer. "I'll give you 15 minutes, he says. "Do your best within that time." For the next quarter hour, the captain becomes a desperate man. He realizes the rumors were true. This boy is a monster. He abandons the suicide plan and tries to commit flat-out murder, but it's useless. No matter how hard the captain strikes, Beom Hang dodges every blow, as if he's simply taking a stroll through a park. The captain is losing his mind. He's within arm's reach, yet he can't even graze the boy's clothes. Suddenly, the air in the room turns heavy. Beom Hang's playful expression vanishes. "It's been 15 minutes, he says coldly. "Time to teach you a lesson." What follows is a brutal display of power. Beom Hang strikes back with terrifying precision. He mocks the captain, telling him he should have stayed down after the first beating. The captain, now broken and bleeding on the floor, begs for mercy, but the young master he once knew is gone. The chapter ends with Beom Hang looming over the traitor, his face twisted into a dark, terrifying grin. He grabs the captain by the chin and asks the one question that will seal the fate of the archive. And that wraps up this chapter. Let's jump straight into the next one. The scene opens right where we left off, with the air thick with tension. First, young Master Beom Hang looms over the defeated escort captain. Hang's eyes narrow as he asks, "You're working with someone," but before he can extract an answer, he pauses. "Wait, be quiet." Someone's approaching. Who is it? Two of them. Suddenly, the doors burst open. It's Yoon and Beom Hang, rushing in completely out of breath. Yoon! Beom Hang! Run here! Hang! They yell out. They're totally oblivious to the absolute carnage in the room. They laugh awkwardly, asking, "How did you know we were coming? Hang? Were you waiting for US? You even opened the door to welcome US?" But their laughter dies instantly as they catch sight of the gruesome scene on the floor. Trembling, they point and stutter. Hang, what's that? What's that monster-looking pile of meat? Hang doesn't even blink, he replies flatly. The two of them are utterly flabbergasted. What? The escort captain, Cheon Gyuin. In a hilarious attempt to deny the terrifying reality that Hang just beat a man to a pulp, they immediately start making up ridiculous excuses. That's it. The captain had a stroke, right? To think stroke is such a scary thing. We need to take him to a physician right away. One blurts out, while the other frantically agrees. I also think we should do that. Hang sighs, shutting down their comedic panic. That's not it, he says, turning his cold gaze back to the ruined captain on the floor. Now speak. Tell us how this thing started, who's leading it, and who the people involved are. The captain, now completely broken and desperate, grovels for his life. Spare me. I have committed a mistake. Please, I'll tell everything. So please spare my life. He drops the bombshell. The clan manager is leading this thing. He goes on to list the traitors, revealing there are a total of 8 accomplices. The escort captain himself, the vice captain, and 6 other escorts. On top of that, there's 1 traitor from the scholar side and 5 from the manpower management and accounting team. Yoon and Beom Hang are outraged. How dare clan manager GWAK do this? What? How could someone do something so outrageous? But Hang immediately puts them in their place. He's not the only one to be blamed. What have you guys been doing this whole time? But what on earth were you guys doing while the household turned into this shitshow? Sweating bullets, the two admit they probably weren't in their right minds either. With the truth out, Hang shifts into absolute boss mode. He issues his orders. Beom Hang, I want you to activate the outer trap formations and put the archive on lockdown. His tone leaves no room for argument. You mustn't allow even an ANTTO get out of this place. When asked if they should inform their grandfather, Hang smoothly replies, "It won't be too late to tell him all of this after we're done taking care of it." Yoon tries to suggest a flashy, overpowered move. I'll use the black heavenly lightning formation that's deployed in the small training ground. It's a formation that turns the whole place dark in an instant with lightning striking everywhere. Hang shakes his head. No, there aren't a lot of them. There's no need to cause such a huge commotion. What's important is that you capture the head of the revolt, the clan manager. He knows the lackeys will surrender the moment they see he's still alive. To deal with the rest, Hang asks for a weak link among the traitors. They mention a man named Jong Muguk, who treasures his family above all else. He'd betray others again if it's to protect his family. Then, let's get started. The scene cuts to the dark courtyard where the traitorous escorts are waiting for their captain to return. They mutter among themselves, "Captain's late. There are probably no problems, right?" Suddenly, a heavy thud echoes through the yard. Something has been tossed from the sky. The men gather around, horrified. What was that? What's that? A clot of blood? To their absolute terror, the bloody mass starts speaking. Help! Help! The escorts recoil in shock. It's speaking. Is that human? This voice. Captain. That's the escort captain. Panic sets in as they realize their leader, who went to assassinate the weak young master, has been reduced to a squirming mess. The vice captain tries to save face, yelling, "If something happened to young Master Hang, I..." But from the shadows steps Beom Hang himself, completely unharmed. He mocks them, announcing, "That squirming thing is the escort captain. He had a stroke while trying to kill Hang. The vice captain, sweating profusely, forces a fake smile. Ah! Young master! You're safe! Hang stares them down with a terrifying, knowing smile. Why are you making such a face? Vice captain, it's like you've seen a ghost. 6 of the escorts are also making such faces. Is there a problem here? The traders realize instantly they've been caught. Through inner narration, Hang notes that the situation was handled effortlessly. The treasonous escort squad was subdued without a fight, paralyzed by the sheer shock of seeing Hang alive while their fearsome captain was destroyed. Back inside, Hang rubs his temples, annoyed by the logistical nightmare ahead. But the clan manager, I can't believe he stole half of the Heavenly Grand Archive's assets. Just how much is all that worth? Sigh. How do we get back the books and treasures that have been sent outside? Just then, a voice calls out from the door. Hang, it's me Yoon. I brought Jong Muguk. Hang's eyes darken as he prepares for his next interrogation. Come on In, he commands, ready to dismantle the rest of the conspiracy piece by piece.